Welcome to Barrow Brothers, and tonight we're doing something a little different. Stay tuned. I'm here with young Kevin here at Western Sydney International Dragway. Yes, and we've set up the 660cc battle. Kevin has a lovely little Honda S660 that he has just put an ECU into because out of the box they are fairly nobbled.
It's stock-ish.
But oh, you were telling me that at what high up in the revs it closes the throttle, the standard.
Yeah, well, with modern cars nowadays with electronic drive-by-wire throttles, flat out on the pedal doesn't necessarily mean full throttle at the engine. And the ECU, the standard ECU, might pull back some throttle for various reasons like emissions or to say
64 horsepower.
Yeah, or to say, you know, emissions or noise or to reduce the torque to save the standard gearbox. But in the case of a Kei car, there's a lot of throttle restriction to stay under the 64 horsepower limit. So this particular car, at low and middle RPM, 12 psi boost, but the moment you hit 5 grand, it starts to pull throttle back. And at 6 grand, no matter how hard you mash the throttle onto the carpet, you've only got 1/3 throttle and 6 psi. And that's how this stays under 64 horsepower.
But you still punted out a a fairly respectable. It was under 18 seconds, wasn't it?
Stock standard a few weeks ago here at the drag strip, it did 17.9. 74 miles an hour. So now it's got a 1-bar spoon reflash on the ECU. So now we've got full throttle all the way.
We've got all the throttle?
All the throttle and all the boost
and
all the way to the drop.
Boost.
And the spoon map adds 2 psi across the board. So now we've got 14 psi across the board.
Okay.
Where before we had 12, 12, 12, and then it went down to 6. Now we have 14 all the way to the top. So it'll be interesting to see what it does. Spoon reckons it should now be at about 78 horsepower.
Yeah, so well, it's probably an 80 horsepower motor with everything. Sort of, they did back in the day. They didn't have the same sort of thing to nobble these. They just used a really crappy exhaust, restrictive exhaust, and to a certain extent the exhaust housing on the turbo. So yeah, that's how they pulled the power back.
Where I think nowadays they just build an 80 horsepower motor and then throttle it back.
To just electronically
64.
nobble it.
Yep.
So what year is this one?
2016.
2016, and that's a 1992. So there's quite a difference in age, and there's a bit of difference in weight too. That's around 725. This, on the other hand, is about 100 kilos heavier. So this should be interesting. And the other thing is, that one is a manual. This one is a CVT. So the advantages of that is young Kevy here can just mash the throttle and it'll go to peak torque and just scoot up the raceway.
Well, yeah. I mean, the CVT means when you're flat out, it sits at 5,500 the whole time. Now, where a few weeks ago on the 17.9 run, it would be 5,500 RPM at 6 psi. Now we have 5,500 RPM and 14 psi all the way down the quarter. So it possibly may be a bigger difference.
It was quick off the line. I remember seeing it from last time. Very quick off the line.
It's quick off the line, and then it sort of dies in the ass above 5 grand, where now it just picks up.
Where the computer was going, no, sir, I'm sorry, sir, you can't have that.
No throttle for you. So now we have full throttle, we have full boost. Well, over double the boost actually at for most of the runs. So we'll see what it's gone from 6 to 14.
Wow, that should make a difference.
That should make a tiny difference.
Yeah. Well, but like followers of the channel know that this one is running a bit of extra boost. It's gone up from 12 standard up to around 15 and a half. So, 8 standard up to around 14, 15 pound, depending on. We've got a really cold night here.
Yes.
I'm shivering.
We have a lot of free intercooling tonight. It's about 5 degrees Celsius.
So this is going to be really interesting to see how these guys go. That's cute though. And here's the thing, if we stand back a little bit, this is the weird part. that looks smaller than this.
I think it is.
Isn't that weird? Very strange. Well, there you go. Yes. So, yeah, we just lined up here and basically waiting while we shiver our backsides off.
20 minutes until...
And away we go. Well, we've lined up ready to go, and we just been through scrutineering, and we've done all of the signed bits of paper and, you know, sign your life away, and if I die, don't blame us, that sort of stuff. Really relatively painless, you know. Have a quick scrutineer of the car, make sure it's not falling apart, basically. Need long sleeves. You've got your helmet, which has got to go onto my head fairly shortly. See, that's the thing, it moves fairly quickly because the races are only 15 seconds long. So yeah, line them up. I don't think we need a burnout really. Maybe just clean the tyres in the water, but yeah. Unfortunately, Kevin's been put in that lane and not this one, so you won't be able to see. But this is the first go, so yeah. I did it once before in the sports van on a Mighty Car Mods day that they had out here. So that's the only time I've ever done this before, and that was 17 point something, no, 17.2 I think with the 1.3. So we'll see how the little 660 goes, eh? I've got the heater on because it's freezing outside, which is good. Free into cooling. It's going to help. Just about to get called forward into the water. Got cleaned up by the S660. Not by much though. Not by much at all. I think maybe I'll rev it less next time, because I was going right out to 7. I think it runs out of puff a little bit earlier. So I think maybe next time we'll take it up to 6 and just change on 6 grand right on the knocker. Maybe 6 and a little bit. So yeah, you could feel it sort of as it was revving out, it was starting to plateau off. So yeah, we'll try ripping another gear and see if we can use the torque to like fire us down a little bit quicker. Yeah, you got cleaned up by the Honda, but like it was close. There's, I don't know, 0.2 in it, maybe a car length. That was good.
122.
122.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
That's okay.
Well, we've got the time card. I can't see it yet. Oh, 1706 was for Kevin and 17348 for me. I think that the best motoring ones were tweaked up. They were getting 16.5s out of a standard one, and this is running more boost, so something's up the shit. So we've got for Kevin a 17.067, so close to the 16s, and for me we've got a 17.348, and then the mile per hour, Kevin was 78.86 and I was 78.48, so like less than half a kilometre an hour in it. So I got him off the line and then he's just slowly come past, so really close. This is good fun. Let's try it again. Alrighty, so we're lined up for our next time around, and this is where I might have a bit of an advantage. I got off the line quicker and I got to 60 feet quicker, but he started pulling me back from that point. So I figure if I don't rev it out as much, if I change it about 6 grand, I think that's going to be on the money. The poor old Kev, all he can do is to mash the throttle because it's a CVT, and it just basically. But what he's noticing, he got nearly a second faster than he did last time here when it was bog standard.
Mark, welcome to Aeroflow Race for Real, mate. Your little Suzuki Cappuccino is one of the coolest cars here this evening. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's I bought it a few years ago, and a mate of mine had a Viper kit with it. So yeah, we just sort of went from there, put the Viper kit on, did the flares, built the wheels for it, and yeah, it's pretty much standard. It's running a little bit more boost. It's got a front mount intercooler, and that's about it.
Well, mate, I just want to go down the track earlier. That was a great run.
It was a lot of fun against me mate over here in the little Honda. Yeah, he cleaned me up, the bugger.
Oh no, he kept up with you too. I thought you were going to whip him, but you didn't. Go and have some fun, man.
Well, there you go. Just got interviewed because I got a funny looking car. Might go around the water this time. Yeah, Kevin's a car back, so unfortunately we won't be up against each other this time round. So it'll be, yeah, just the slips and see how we go. I'm certainly going to get cleaned up by the Quattro, that's for sure. So, the wash up of it all, the Kei car challenge, is that the Honda is quicker than the Suzuki.
VTEC just kicked in, yo.
Yeah, so the next round will be, I think Kevin's got an intercooler coming and I have a high flow turbo, so it looks like winding it out. I went 0.3 slower that time round and you went
0.05 slower.
0.05, so whoop, Jesus, consistent.
Yeah, it's automatic. You just floor it.
Yeah, just floor it and away you go. Yes. So I did, my action time was about the same. I went on the yellow again. Didn't break out, which is good. So yeah, that basically concludes the night. So yeah.
Wait for part 2.
Yes.
Where maybe we'll get into the 16s.
16 seconds. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, I hear you stop breathing when it gets below 17. We might need we might need a fit of shoot.
I've heard that that women aren't allowed to go that fast, you know. Comments below. Comments.
Don't know this guy.
He didn't say it.
I don't know this guy. He didn't come with me. We're not together.
All right, my friend. Oh, thank you very much for a pleasant evening, and we'll see you next time.
Until we meet again.
Until we meet again. Look after yourselves. See yous. There's a certain portion of just waiting around for things to happen. Unfortunately, we'll just edit this out. Gian, please edit.
You got nearly a full second.